Hey, Facebook! Happy Friday! What was we up to yesterday? Hey, when we get a little bit of slow time around the shop, which right after the holidays, it's always a little bit of slow time, we always clean up our shop. We always do a little bit of extra training. And so yesterday, we did some extra training. And today, I'm going to give you a demonstration of kind of what that training was about. What were we doing? We started cutting. That's right, we cut it open, man. We cut open this water heater. This water heater open so we could demonstrate it not only to Tanner and Josh to get some re-education, but also to show you what it looks like on the inside of a water heater. And I want to kind of go through this. This was a water heater we just pulled out last week, so it was fairly new pulling it out, and I wanted to cut it open and show these guys the difference in things, how it looks when it's brand new compared to when it's old. And then I wanted to show the difference between what it looks like and what a tankless looks like, so you can kind of get an idea. So let's go ahead and flip it around and we'll talk about it a little bit. Let's figure it out. Okay, so right here we go. This is the inside of the water heater. This is what it looks like inside your water heater tank. So as you notice, first of all we did was cut off a little section on the top here to kind of show you that this is the top part of the tank. And then you have your bottom part of the tank. And underneath this right here is your burner assembly. Okay, and right underneath that burner assembly sits your pan with your burner plate. And that sits directly underneath this vent. Now, this is actually, the vent is what actually is heating your hot water. Okay, so this is what's doing it. It has nothing to do with the burner down here. It's not heating this plate up like a pot. What it's doing is the hot air that's coming up through the vent, the exhaust of the vent, is what's actually heating the water. Now, I explained to Josh this morning the reason that the thermostat, this is your gas valve here with the thermostat coming in, the reason it sits on the bottom is as it's coming up, or as your water's coming in, it's coming in through. And as you can see, this dip tube comes all the way from the top and it puts it right down here on the bottom. And it's putting cold water on the bottom because naturally hot water is lighter than cold water. So your hot water is actually going to flow up. And as you can see right here, that's the hole for the hot water. So what happens is your cold water comes down and it heats up that hot water. And so what happens is that thermostat sits right down here on the bottom because once that gets cold, that gas valve to turn on and to flame up to heat up the water. So you want it at the lower end so you know that this part right here is cold, then it needs to start heating up. All right. There's a few things that's cool in here. First of all, you can see all the debris. This is all that was in there. This was sitting and collecting on the tank over time. And this is just water buildup. This is just calcium deposit. See how hard it is? And this is what actually gets inside your water lines, in your faucets. And this is if you don't have a water softener. Now, if you have a water softener, it would stay nice and clean. And you wouldn't ever see anything like this, okay? So this is a house with, I wanted to use this one for that specific reason, that shows that it doesn't have a water softener. Now this is just caked in. Look at how bad it is here. And this, right down here, where I'm digging, there's a drain valve right there. So in order to get your water to even drain, this is kind of an idea. This was all caked in on here. And obviously as we were cutting some off, a lot of that came out. But how are we supposed to drain this? How are we supposed to maintain this? That's why it's so important to drain that every year, because all this stuff just settles and it'll stick to the tank, just like you can see all the hard water calcium deposit. Now, to help with that, the deterioration of the tank, we have what they call an anode rod. Now, normally your anode rod, brand new, looks like this, okay? And this is a sacrificial rod. It's made of a soft magnesium, and basically what happens is that is attacked, and this is what you end up with years later if you never change that anode rod out, just a wire. All that heavy-duty magnesium has been ate off, and as you can see, all this hard water deposit. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. It kind of went goofy on me there for a minute. So anyways, this is what it looks like inside a water heater after it's been used. And that's why it's so important to put a water softener on your system, because if not, you end up with all that collection inside on the bottom and all that. So I wanted to show this. A lot of people will put blankets over their water heaters, and it's unnecessary. This is the foam insulation that keeps that heat inside. This is what keeps it energy efficient. Now, right here we have about 2.5 inches, 2 inches right here, and right here we have about 1 inch to 1.5 inches worth of insulation. And then down here on the bottom where it gets really hot, they have a actual fiberglass insulation instead of a foam. And they do that for the first 1.5 feet of the bottom of the water heater to keep it to where it's keeps all that heat in. But that kind of gives you an idea why having issues with internet today, guys. Apologize for that. But anyways, we have our TMP valve right here coming in, and that's why it's where it is if you're going to get any hot water pressure buildup, it's going to be at the very top of this tank, and so you want it to blow out. Now, let's take a look at the difference between this water heater here. That's your standard water heater tank. That's where it would stand. That's a 40-gallon compared to your tankless. Now, this is something that I have in my house. Number one, it's more energy efficient. You don't have constant flame going on that pilot light down there trying to keep that water warm. What you have is it turns off, and when you turn on that hot water valve, it has a flow sensor in there, and it automatically kicks on the heat to the flame to build up that heat. And you have a double heat exchanger. You have a primary and a secondary. Actually, I did that in reverse: primary, secondary heat exchanger. And basically what happens, you have a down-blowing flame that heats up that water, and that being down-flowing, it creates more heat as it's going up and through, and so that's why it's such an energy efficient unit. It uses all the heat possible, because as it blows down, that heat rises, and as your water's coming up, it heats inside that as it's going up through. So why does this make sense? Well, look at it right now. You have this huge tank taking up floor space, and you're heating 40 to 50 gallons. Or you have this little thing that hangs on the wall, and you're only heating it as you need it. So, I mean, to me, that makes a lot of sense right there. That gives you an idea of the difference in the sizes, too. You know, this is hanging on the wall. That's sitting on your floor taking up space. I mean, I was able to clear up so much room in my house just by putting in a tankless because of how much room that water heater took up. And I had an 80-gallon water heater in my house. So, imagine, that's almost double what this size is, because this is a 40-gallon. So an 80-gallon would be double the size of that. So we really cleared up a lot of room in our house. The nice thing about these things is you can hook them up to your Wi-Fi on your phone. And this is an actual tankless water heater. It's just got a glass cover on it. But you can hook this up to the Wi-Fi on your internet and have an app on your phone and actually control things and actually watch your gas usage. Watch it, turn it on, turn it off. So if I'm going out of town and I'm not going to be in town and nobody's going to be using my water heater at all, I can actually shut this off from my phone as I'm leaving the house, and I don't have to go downstairs. So there's a lot of different avenues to the tankless water heater that makes it so much better and energy efficient. I mean, room saving, less wasted water. You know, it's just there's so much to it that makes it more energy efficient than having a big old tank like this. Plus, you have stainless steel heat exchangers, whereas this is a cast iron tank, and it's continually getting water usage, so it's going to start to corrode over time. And down there on the seams, as you can see right where we cut that seam off at the base plate, that's usually where you start seeing it rot through. You're not going to have that here because it's stainless steel, so it's more sturdy to the hard water that we get, which means that it's a little bit better built. So hopefully that gives you an understanding. It was a fun little thing for us to do as a project, to be able to cut that open and be able to show my guys exactly what it looks like on the inside. Like I said, this is amazing, you know, when you look at this anode rod of what it would look like brand new, and then you look at what it turned out to after it had been sitting in a house forever. I mean, that completely is down to just a wire. It's amazing what that hard water buildup will do, and that shows you that it's so caustic to your plumbing. Is so bad to your plumbing. That's why it's so important to have your water softener or a water conditioning system like a Halo 5 system in your home. Now, good news is we're going to be having a home show coming up in April. Okay? Home show is going to have some good deals. We're going to have some great deals. We're going to be doing a tankless water heater sale. We're going to be doing a Halo sale. We're going to be doing a combination tankless water heater and a Halo combination sale. And We got a new surprise coming Monday. I'm so excited to get it. I'm like a little kid at Christmas with a present. We're getting a new coating machine so you don't have to tear up your yard to fix your plumbing problems for the drains. We can coat it from inside your home. I'm so excited to get it. We're going to actually show it. I won't have all the chemicals and stuff here Monday, but I'll have the machine here. And as soon as I have the chemicals, we are going to do a demonstration. We're going to show you guys exactly what we can do. We'll have samples of what it looks like at the home show, and we're going to be running big specials. So make sure you come to the home show this year to check it out. You can get yourself a tankless water heater. You can get yourself a Halo, or you can get yourself a new sewer line. There's a lot of cool things that can come with that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun for us to just tear something apart. We don't get to do that very often. And it was great education for the guys. As they cut it open, they could see exactly how it was built. They got to see firsthand exactly what goes into it. And then after sitting with them yesterday and talking to them about how each little thing works, it was awesome. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. Guys, have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll catch you on Monday.